Hey everyone, how's it going? Just this morning wanted to share with you my morning routine. Usually start off with gratitude. And in this book, my girlfriend got it for me. I used to just write them in my journal, but she knew I was doing that, so she got me this book. And it has about 3 lines for each page, or for each section, excuse me. And I usually, instead of just writing one for each line, I usually try to fill the lines with a few each because it feels better to really focus on as much gratitude as possible rather than just 3 things. I think gratitude's a great way to start my day. I've been doing it for a couple months now, and really it seems to help me shift my focus out of fear and shift my focus into being appreciative, into understanding what opportunities I have, into not taking my life for granted, into maximizing that which is around me for the good. And it just feels good. It feels good to start the day that way. I really enjoy it. I really like it, and I'm going to continue doing that for a while. I also journal. I'll do journaling that's really based on a couple things. I'll write down some affirmations that I want to remember for the day. I'll also I might journal a little bit about things that are coming up for me. I might draw a little swirly picture for whatever reason, because it helps me a lot to draw swirly pictures. Let's see here. Yeah, so I usually do. Then I'll do like an intention for the day. Like, for example, I've got this one lately from Dr. Peterson that I like. The intention of being meaningfully engaged. I really like that. I like to look at my life in terms of meaningful engagement. So then after I do that, then I'll go ahead and hop into, meditation. And I've got my cushion here. Sometimes instead of using the cushion, I'll sit on a chair. I'm not very flexible, so it helps me to kind of have that option. I do like the cushion. I can prop myself up. I have an extra one, so I have a little more space. And then I'll just do breathing, and sometimes I'll close my eyes and kind of do, mindfulness, visualizations. Other times I'll do more of an open gaze and just really get into the present moment. I've been meditating on and off for years now, so I do have different techniques. It really helps me to meditate. I think meditation is probably one of the most important aspects. I also do a prayer practice, and I view it as kind of a prayer to the great unknown, right? Like to the great mystery or whatever, just saying, show me what I need to know, give me the strength, the humility, the courage, and so forth. To me, I don't get so caught up in who I'm praying to or if there's something out there or not. I personally feel a connection with something, but I don't get so caught up in that philosophically. I'm more focused on the humility and the aspects of connecting to the unknown, and the way that I'm changing my brain to start being receptive rather than always putting my viewpoint out onto the world, always projecting myself, always forcing myself. It takes some practice to start to rewire my brain. So it's, wait, what am I missing? What are the opportunities I'm not aware of? What are the things that I'm doing that are not aligned? What are the things that I could do better? What are the things that I could keep doing? How should I be being? What is the informative aspect of my deepest source of connection? And for me, when I ask those questions, I get intimations or creative ideas or feelings that help me get through my day, as long as I'm receptive to hearing an answer, regardless of where it's coming from. So there's that. Then there's reading. Biocentrism is the book that I've just started. It's about the new explanation for everything, the new science of everything, a biocentric viewpoint, a biological viewpoint. I'm not a huge science reader, but this book is really about consciousness and science, and how science has not brought consciousness into the picture enough yet. So I really like that, and I love how it scientifically explains everything, but it brings consciousness into the equation. How does consciousness explain things that we've previously misunderstood? Love it. Still reading this guy. I've been reading this book for a while. I kind of got stuck on it after about 320 pages. Maps of Meaning, Dr. Peterson. Obviously, famous at this time, and just incredibly dense book. And sometimes I have to read the same page 3 times. Sometimes, not all the time. I can retain a lot of the information quickly, and other times it's just so densely written, and there's so much packed into each sentence, each paragraph, and the topics are quite complex. It's talking about the underlying architecture of our belief system and how to optimize it, and what makes us go wrong and what makes us go into the right direction, what drives us into fear and malevolence, how does our motivational orientation system work, when we have a goal, what does our brain do, how does that work neurologically, how does it work psychologically and archetypically and philosophically. It's incredible. It's been helping me a lot with my life coaching practice. It's been helping me a lot understand relationships and understand myself and understand the mythical realm that humans have always been so inclined to engage as far as story, archetype, religion, and so forth. So that's a little bit of my morning ritual. I don't read every morning. I read if I have time. If I don't wake up early enough, I try to wake up between 6 and 7:30. Sometimes I wake up earlier than 6, but that's not that often. I'd like to start doing that more. Sometimes I wake up a little around closer to 7:30. My favorite is when I'm up at 6:30 or 6:15. I feel like I have time to really do all that without being in a rush. If I wake up at 7 or 7:15, I feel like I'm rushing to get through all that so that I can start working or go on with my day. So the earlier for me seems to be the more that I can take care of myself. Morning ritual seems to be super important. I think for whatever reason, I think there's a lot of good reasons why preparing for the day in that way creates a more engaged. I think I definitely seem to be a little happier. I seem to be in flow. I seem to have a sense of purpose. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I'd love to hear what your morning routine is. Write it down in the comment section. Give me a like and a subscribe if you are feeling kind, and I will be in touch soon.